Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers on the broadcast today, part one of a two-part interview with Mark Hutchison. On this one, we talk about his involvement with the Mormons and a 3-year mission. It's all coming up next on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
Pro Group Management offers workers' comp services to a growing number of industries. As businesses grow and change with the times, the need for a solid workers' comp program must be flexible and up to date. The evolving nature of regulations can make staying ahead of complex tasks challenging. But Pro Group Management simplifies the work so your industry can move forward and succeed. Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
It happens. And when it does, there's UMC Quick Care.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, coming to you from the Ahern Hotel here in Las Vegas. We are delighted to welcome back to the program Mark Hutchison. He is the former 34th Lieutenant Governor of the great state of Nevada. Pleasure to have you back here.
Oh, it's so good to be back with you, Sam. Thank you.
I want to do this in two parts here because I want to talk about your church and then I want to talk about politics later. So we'll keep those two subjects apart. You were on a long mission. How long was the mission?
3 years.
Was it 3 years?
3 years, yes.
That's an unbelievable commitment. All right. So you're part of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Most people know it as the Mormons.
Yep.
When did you grow up as a Mormon?
Yeah.
You weren't a Harry Reid where you converted.
No. I was born and raised in the church and had parents who were faithful members and spent my entire life in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and it's been a wonderful experience, a wonderful blessing. And just before we get into this mission, I just want to mention that the church has a unique thing, which is that the leaders of the church, the president of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles, does that job till they pass. That's right.
Russell Nelson died just recently at the age of 101,
right.
Replaced by a youngster, Dallin Oaks, and he's 93.
92, yeah.
And what do you think about, this? Because when we talk about presidents, there's a lot of concern about, what age people should retire in the United States Senate. The church keeps everybody going because they believe that they are connected to the Lord in there.
That's right. Yeah, the Quorum of the 12 Apostles and what is known as the First Presidency, which is a group of 3 of the members of the Quorum of the 12 Apostles. They form the senior leadership of the church, and they serve their entire lives. And we've just seen again and again, Sam, the wisdom and the experience and the insights and the revelation that they get from God to lead and guide the church. And it's a remarkable thing that we really put a lot of faith in, that that's the way the Lord wanted to do. That's why the Lord has done it throughout history as far as Christianity, where prophets are called and they're called for their lifetimes.
So tell me about this mission, because I followed it on Facebook. I thought it was totally cool that you posted. Well, I mean, the headline each week was, "What a week."
Right.
You were very excited about it. But what was the basis of the mission that took 3 years?
The mission is all about sharing the good news of the gospel of Jesus Christ with as many people as we can, and improving their lives and blessing them through service. And so many people are probably familiar with the missionaries, young men and young women between the ages of 18 and 25. You often see them with the black name tags that are so familiar, particularly in the West out here. And they volunteer their time, and they or their families pay their way to serve a mission. And for 18 to 24 months, these young men and young women put on pause college, education, work, personal pursuits in life and family, and they go somewhere in the world, and they there teach the gospel of Jesus Christ, help people become closer to Him, and then at the same time serve them and bless their lives.
Okay, so what was your role in this mission? Were you the leader of the mission?
Yes, yep. I was the president of the Virginia Richmond Mission, which is one of the larger East Coast missions in the church. And as the president of the church, as the president of the mission, along with my wife, we both were responsible for the training and the care and the supervision of all these missionaries. We had about on average about 200 with us that we had responsibility for to take care of them, to help them, to train them.
At any one time?
Any one time, I had 200 missionaries.
All right, so how many total did you deal with over the 3-year period?
About 700.
Wow, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
All right, so what was your inspiration for them to go out on the mission, and where did they come from? Were they already rising up through the church, or did you have to go out and recruit them?
Great question. Within the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, there's a real culture of service and a real culture of missionary service. I served a mission when I was 19 years old, and many young men and young women serve.
Where'd you go?
I went to Columbus, Ohio.
Okay.
I know when I say that, like my son went to Africa, or I've got friends who went to South America. They're all over the world. And right now, Sam, just to kind of give you a flavor for this, the church announced last week that there were 55 new missions created. That brings the total up to over 500 throughout the world. We're in 150 nations, speaking 60 languages, about 85,000 missionaries throughout the world. And they come from all over the church. And when they decide that they want to serve, it's all volunteer. They go into their bishop, the leader of their congregation, let them know that they want to serve a mission, ask to serve a mission. And then there's an application that goes in. Information is gathered, health records, and their experiences, and where they may be a good fit somewhere in the world. And then that is all sent up to the Quorum of the 12, who then through revelation actually assign them to one of those now over 500 missions.
Really, through revelation?
Yes, yes. Every one of them is prayed on, thought about. They have the information in front of them on a computer screen. They can see their photos. They know their family history. They know if they have any languages they speak, or whether maybe their background is with their family, or what their interests are, what they've done. And then they've got another kind of big chart on the screen with the world and all the different missions. And it's like, all right, where should Mark Hutchison serve? And as a member of the Quorum of the 12, we believe that they get revelation from God. And so they receive this inspiration and they send you to that mission.
All right, so it's a mixture of the practical.
That's right.
And revelation.
Yeah, very much, yeah.
The Mormon Church has expanded so dramatically and continues to expand dramatically. Is it even more so with outreach than the Catholic Church, for example?
Well, we really try hard with the outreach and with the missionary service. I think it's one of the things that we're known for is going into the world and preaching the gospel. We really believe the commission that was given to Jesus Christ, given by Jesus Christ to his apostles and his disciples at the end of his life, to go ye therefore and teach all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Ghost, and preaching them the gospel of Jesus Christ. And so that is absolutely central to the church's mission, is that missionary outreach, that teaching of the gospel of Jesus Christ. The church invests tremendous resources spreading the gospel throughout the world, and individual families within the church and individuals themselves, these missionaries, really make sacrifices because they think that is really the call of the Lord and what we're supposed to do.
Well, you also made a huge 3 years of your life, you and your wife. That's not a short period of time.
Well, we loved every minute of it, Sam. Remember, I mean, when I think about my mission, I think about this quote by Theodore Roosevelt. Theodore Roosevelt said, "Far and away, the best prize that life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work worth doing." And that is the best prize, the chance to work hard at work worth doing. And when you think about what you do when you introduce the gospel of Jesus Christ in somebody's life, and they begin now their own journey to follow the Lord, and they adopt the values and incorporate those within their lives and their family lives, it completely changes the trajectory of their lives, and it completely changes the trajectory of their families. And I think, Sam, communities and nations and the world eventually, that's the solution to all of our challenges. I've been in politics for a long time. You've been in politics for even longer. And we could do a lot of good things with government, earthly government. But at the end of the day, what really is going to solve our challenges is when you and I believe that we have a common Father and that you're my brother and I'm your brother, and we treat each other that way.
What kind of pushback do they receive, and what kind of training do you have to alleviate that pushback?
Yeah, it's a great question, because most of these young men and young women, they haven't really faced rejection. So it's hard because they're going to go out, they're going to talk to people, and some of them, many of them, are not going to be interested, or they've got their own church, or they're doing their own thing, and they're going to really reject the message that they have to offer, just not be interested in it. And look, we were in the South, right? We were in the northern part of the South in Virginia, and most people were very kind. But they have to learn and adjust to that they have like rejection. They're offering something that's important to them, to somebody else, and they're rejected. How do they handle that? And that's a lot of what we did. Carrie and I, my wife, and I would spend a lot of time with them, teaching them and training them and helping them understand that rejection is just part of the call of a missionary, that was the experience of Jesus Christ and all great missionaries, was that there was going to be some rejection, but it's worth it. And those who are prepared and ready and their hearts are soft and are prepared to receive the gospel message are the ones that we're looking for and that would respond. And so there's kind of a little bit of a mind shift that we help them understand.
You know, one of the things that I learned in Toastmasters years ago was that you learned more from critiquing others than you did from speaking yourself. Did you find that you were learning things as you were trying to teach that actually the results were benefiting you? Oh, so much. Yeah, that is so true, Sam. As I worked with these young men and young women who, think about this, most of their life was their social interaction. So much of it, I don't say most, but so much of it was based on social media, right? Sort of that faceless, that sort of lifeless device that they would hold in their hands. And then what they were asked to do was sort of set those aside and go talk to people face to face. And sometimes for the first time, really to engage with them. And as I helped them do that and helped sort of work through some of the barriers and the challenges that were presented with that kind of an experience for them, I just found myself just growing and learning much, much more than I think I ever taught them. So I agree with that adage. It was a great blessing to be able to work with those young men and young women and help them through some difficult transitions from just being teenagers and young adults to then being disciples of Jesus Christ and missionaries. Okay, so then I've got to ask you, what was the most important thing you learned? Oh, the most important thing I learned was the power of Jesus Christ in my own personal life. I've always been a believer in Jesus Christ. I've always loved him and tried to follow him. But when I was completely immersed in helping to bring others to Jesus Christ, and it was a very difficult, sometimes challenging assignment to do that. At times, I felt his own power in my life, and it just blessed me and raised me up in ways that I hadn't experienced before. And I saw that in the lives of these young men and young women as the power of Jesus Christ in their lives transformed them into becoming even greater young men and young women than they were when they arrived. And then those who would accept the gospel, seeing how that then Jesus Christ in their lives transformed them. So just the transformative power of the atonement of Jesus Christ. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back more with former Lieutenant Governor and missionary Mark Hutchison after this time out.
This holiday season, say aloha to winning big with the Carson Valley Inn's $250,000 Hawaiian holiday giveaways. Unwrap the fun with $500 Southwest gift cards and mini vacations every Saturday. And $60,000 in grand prize Hawaiian vacations or cash. The islands are calling, only at the Carson Valley Inn.
Everyone is talking about opioids, but they're not the only drugs that can be harmful if taken in large quantities or not as prescribed. You also need to be aware of side effects from anxiety drugs, muscle relaxants, sleep aids, and stimulants. Mixing prescription drugs with other drugs or alcohol can be dangerous. If you take an Ambien with a glass of wine, it may be enough to stop you from breathing. Prescribed drugs can be just as dangerous as illegal drugs. Take medications only as directed.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain. And for over 90 years, the Nevada Trucking Association has been the voice for the men and women in the trucking industry. From Carson City to Washington, D.C., we advocate for policies to protect our trucking companies and keep commerce flowing. Because Nevada's and America's prosperity is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
A power line is more than a power line. It's maintaining the bottom line for small businesses. It's keeping the assembly line moving for our workforce. For our brightest minds, it's meeting a deadline. It's on the front line with our heroes. And on the sidelines of the biggest games. It's a direct line to our loved ones. And it's a lifeline for the most vulnerable. There's a lot on the line.
You're in trouble with the law. It's easy to think you'll lose everything, but there is hope. I'm attorney Orrin Johnson. Your first step is to hire a serious attorney with the experience to successfully navigate the legal system for you.
Sometimes hope means addiction treatment instead of jail, and making sure you're treated fairly.
Sometimes hope means fearless trial attorneys will stand up to the government when they get it wrong. Call or text Orrin Johnson Law.
We'll make a plan.
You'll take back your life.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation. This is part one of a two-part show with Mark Hutchison. He was the former lieutenant governor of Nevada, the 34th, and he also ran a mission for 3 years in Virginia for the Mormon Church. You mentioned social media.
Yes.
And what did you call it? Faceless?
Well, kind of like, yeah, just impersonal.
Impersonal. So here's the conundrum. I got excited about, I'm Jewish, and I'm not a practicing Jew, but I'm Jewish. I have no connection with the Mormon Church except reading about it when I was in my 20s. But your enthusiasm for your mission burst through to me on social media. So it's interesting that in one way you decry social media because you want to have the face-to-face contact for your missionaries, but on the other hand, social media has an ability not only to reach other Mormons, but to reach somebody who is not a practicing anything. I believe in the universe, but not in a particular religion. So how do you balance those two sides? Because the reason I called you, you said I'm home on Facebook, and I wrote you immediately. I said, you got to come on the show.
Yeah. And what a great insight there, Sam, that, it's the other side of that point that I was making was, on the one hand, right, it's not personal interaction, right? So maybe kind of a faceless is not the right word, but it was just kind of a little more impersonal. And yet you were saying, hey, but you know what? You can break through on social media in a very personal way, and I think that's right. And our missionaries experienced that as well. They would do proselyting, and they would do outreach on social media, and they would make connections. And you and I are old school, and we didn't really have that experience as young men. But boy, this rising generation sure does, and they know how to do what you're exactly saying. And part of it is really trying to, I think, just maybe show your personality and really show your enthusiasm for what you're doing. And I'm glad that you said that sort of broke through, and you recognize that, because
and it broke through you. I mean, it wasn't unless somebody else was writing for you, and it didn't sound like it. It sounded your voice.
Yeah.
So then let me go 180 degrees and say that I think that the advantage that you and I and others who are able to communicate face-to-face and feel that that's the primary medium, we have a huge advantage at this point in time over those that can't communicate like that.
Right.
So many young people don't want to have an actual conversation. We now text people to say, is it okay to call? Which is ridiculous. When we were kids, the phone rang, we all ran for the darn phone, right?
Right.
What do you make of that?
Well, and that's part of just, I talked about that kind of the power, the transformative power of Jesus Christ in our lives. And really, it was the miracle of a mission. That was one element of it. There's lots of miracles that I can talk about that happened when, you see, we pick up these young men and young women, fresh from the mission training center, and then 18 months later or 24 months later, we'd put them back on a plane to go back home. And the difference and the transformation was remarkable at multiple levels. But one of those levels was, I would ask missionaries when they first came out, how many of you would self-describe as an introvert or somebody who's more reserved? 60%, something like that, is probably what would I think accurately represent the response. But and now we were saying to them, we want you to go out and engage face to face with people and talk with them about a very intimate question in their lives, and that is, are you happy with your relationship with God? And if not, I can help you get closer. And they would go and talk to people everywhere, Sam, in parks, in parking lots, in laundromats, at sporting events, in neighborhoods. And they would engage face to face and become very good at talking to people. And by the time that they, go home in 18 or 24 months, they're transformed. And they will have a huge advantage with their contemporaries, because not only do they know how to communicate on social media, now they know how to communicate interpersonally in sometimes a kind of a pressure-filled environment, and sometimes an uncomfortable environment.
No kidding. Pressure-filled environment with doors being slammed in your face, basically.
Yeah, or people saying I'm not interested, right? Or sometimes treating them meanly. Yeah.
Well, I mean, because this is the ultimate in cold calling. You're not selling a product, you're selling a philosophy and a lifestyle. And so to be able to reach out and do that is just unbelievable.
Yeah. I remember when I got back from my mission, Sam, I thought to myself, it's all downhill from here. I literally thought I could do anything. Because of what I had done for, on my mission, and it was hard, and it was difficult and challenging. And you know what? That's exactly, I think, what God wants us to do, is be faced with tough, challenging, difficult circumstances, and then being humble enough to turn our lives over to Him and say, I can't do it alone. Please help me. And then He helps us, and we become stronger and better because of it.
Do you not think that most people are introverts? Because I find that a lot of people who are publicly extroverts are privately introverts, and I would actually include myself in that. If I'm here hosting a show, I am totally comfortable having a conversation with you. If I have a reason to be at an event, I'm the MC or something like that, I'm totally comfortable. If I'm on a sales call selling my shows, I'm totally comfortable. If you take me to a cocktail party, you will find me in the corner with a club soda and really kind of waiting for people to come over and say hello, because I'm not. So, aren't the majority of us really introverts? Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth to that. I've known a lot of people as well who have the same characteristics. In public, very extroverted, very comfortable with people. But then when they get home, they just want to put their pajamas on, right, and just curl up with a book, or just watch Monday Night Football, and just not be bothered by anybody. And when somebody comes over, it's kind of like, I'd rather just be by myself or with my wife or with my family. I think there's a lot of us like that. I tend to be pretty extroverted in all phases of my life, but I think that's true. I really do think that's true. And as a result, what we do and what we see on a mission with these young men and young women is even more remarkable. All right, let's take another break. We'll be right back.
It's the most wonderful time to win during the $125,000 Holiday Cash Frenzy at Tamarack Casino. Every Saturday, unwrap thousands in cash and free play. Don't miss the grand finale December 27th. We're gifting $20,000 in cash guaranteed. 'Tis the season for good times at Tamarack Casino.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation, and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. But it's more than just growth. Our community is our foundation. supporting families, empowering local initiatives, and creating a place where everyone belongs. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Join us in building a brighter future right here in Story County. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Mark Hutchison. He's a former lieutenant governor of the great state of Nevada. Just finished a 3-year mission for the Mormon Church. So how long did it take before you got home, posted, "I'm back," and we're back at the law firm?
I got home on Tuesday. I was back at the law firm on Thursday. And within 2 months, I was in a 2-week jury trial as lead trial counsel.
Well, I'm just glad that you took the time to relax a little bit. Listen, we're going to take a break here. We're going to start a new show, and then we're going to talk politics.
Great.
One of your other favorite topics,
Yes.
Okay? All right. We'll be right back.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Each day, the Children's Advocacy Alliance partners with leaders, legislators, and families across Nevada to improve children's health, education, economic well-being, and safety. We recognize Nevada will be no better than the state of its children. Be a part of this change. Be a supporter of the Children's Advocacy Alliance. For more information, go to caanv.org.
Southwest Specialties has been making the homes and businesses of Nevada beautiful for more than 20 years. Their experienced designers and craftsmen create the walkways, backyards, water features, and a variety of outdoor cooking areas that add curb appeal and value to your investment. Call today or visit them at their website and see how they can make your outdoor spaces special. Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful. Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers, coming to you from the Ahern Hotel in Las Vegas. As always, you can watch Nevada Newsmakers 24 hours a day at NevadaNewsmakers.com. You can also download the podcasts from your favorite podcast app. We'll see you on the next broadcast.